So, ladies and gentlemen, we talk about the arts, we talk about writing, we talk about music production, we talk about cinematic. Today, we have a very special guest, actually a first, if I remember, first. The spoken word. I always talk about the power of the spoken word, talk about healing and escapism. Today, we have an author, also has a degree in psychology, and we're going to dig deep with her and talk about Unbreakable and Flames. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Shawniece Hall here on Deeper Than Music. How you doing?
Just today.
Man, thank you for taking the time to be on the show. I know that you're a mother, author, and then also a CNA, correct?
Yes.
My first question, how do you balance this all? Like, I imagine your time management game is on point.
Everybody always asks that question, and no, my time management is not always on point. I make schedules, and sometimes I don't always stick to them, although I do my best to stick to them. So it's not always perfect, but the one thing I tell everybody is that a lot of this stuff has to happen. Like being a mom, the stuff I have to do as a mom, that has to happen. Me going to work to provide, that has to happen. Me figuring out how I'm going to fit my personal craft into my life just has to happen. And if you're serious about it, you'll figure out how to make it happen. And when it comes to your craft, you'll figure out how to carve whatever bit of time you can into your craft.
And then being from Rhode Island, and as a young girl, you got into books. You read for escapism. Okay. And what was the fascination with books? What was it about books that you gravitated to?
So what I love about books is what I always say is that for me, when I open a book, it's not like I'm reading a book. It's like I'm in a movie. So the way you feel when you're watching a Netflix series or your favorite movie, that's how I feel when I'm in a book, because even though I'm reading these words, in my mind, a movie is playing. So even though I open this book and there's words on these pages, these words are creating a mental picture in my mind. So while I'm reading, it's like I'm literally in it. So that's why I fell in love with books, because I feel like books can draw you in. You can open up a book and be somewhere until you close that book. You know, you could be living vicariously through the characters. You can escape your reality while being in a book.
Yeah. What are your favorite books? Just out of curiosity, what were your favorite books then, and what are your favorite books now?
Yeah, I'm happy you asked that, because it's definitely different. Growing up, right, when I was younger, I ain't gonna lie, I liked books like Chicken Noodle Soup for the Soul, Goosebumps, stuff like that. But I really fell in love with like the urban fiction, the hood books, especially because if you know me, my background, I dealt with being homeless. I dealt with my mother and my stepfather selling drugs and stuff like that. So when I read some of those stories, it's like you see some similarities. You can relate to some of the stuff. And then, you know, some of the struggles. A lot of us can relate to the struggles and what we have to do to live and survive. So I fell in love with a lot of urban fiction. Even though, like I said, I like the Chicken Noodle Soup because that's more real, honest. I don't know if you've ever read Chicken Noodle Soup for the Soul.
I have. Yeah, it's been a while.
So I love stories like that too, because it's real life. But then I also fell in love with the urban fiction. And then as I got older, things like financing, how to own your own home, like stuff like that. So if you look at my bookshelf today, it's an array of different books that I like, different categories. So you get from urban fiction to finance to how to own your home, how to survive, my biblical text. So I read a lot of different stuff.
Yeah. When you talk about escapism, like I'm heavily into like tech as a kid, robots, fantasy. I just remember like when you said escapism, Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, like that book that was like a whole just blast for me. How did all that adversity and everything that you mentioned growing up, how did that shape you into wanting to become an author? And then how did you end up how did you find the love? Okay, I want to write, I want to provide escapism and be a conduit of what books do for me.
So kind of like what you just said, like just seeing what other authors provided for people by writing those books that provide escape. I just felt like that's what I wanted to do for people. The same way I feel reading a book, I decided at a young age that, hey, I want to make other people feel like that. I want someone to pick up my book and forget where they are. Or I want someone to pick up my book and find themselves in between the pages, or be able to relate to what is going on in between the pages, and that you relate so bad that it feels real to you. You know, because a lot of the stuff that we think feels real when we read it, it's because we can relate to it so much. It's that when you're reading a certain passage and you remember how you felt when that happened to you or how you felt when you was in that situation, that's what makes you able to really relate and then make it feel so real because you was like, wow, I went through that or I experienced that or I witnessed it. So you really get a deeper level of connection because you can connect with it.
Mm-hmm. And did like the growing up, did it also shape you wanting to build in psychology and then also being CNA? Because I feel like those elements help with you being relatable. Your works are inspiring. Did that all tie in together to help you build the person you are today?
So did psychology help build this too? Is that what you're asking?
Like just, you know how like when you, like somebody, like say for instance, my daughter, her great grandmother inspired her. So now she helps with older people. Did the environment shape, I want to be CNA, I want to do psychology, I want to help people with escapism?
Honestly, like when it comes to CNA, I just felt like it was something that I could do because taking care of people and growing up the way I did, I was kind of always taking care of people. So I felt like being someone who was young, coming out of high school, not really knowing where I wanted to go. I don't have rich parents that I can fart around for 4 years in college and then realize, hey, this is not what I want to do. So you know what? I've seen a few people who are CNAs and I'm like, I feel like it was something that I can do because I know that I can care for people. So that's what got me into being a CNA is like, I wasn't sure where I really wanted to go with my life, even though, again, I know that I wanted to write. Like I keep telling people, I don't think I was as serious as I should have been at that moment. So that was like in my rear view. And I was like, you know what? I'll do CNA work. That'll get me a leg up somewhere. So that's why I started with that. And then with psychology, I wanted to take general psychology because it teaches you about people. And I am a people person. Like I love to learn about people. I love to learn about why you're the way you are, why you keep making the same choices. I like to learn about like your family history because your family history plays into who you are, why you do what you do, your generational curses, all that. So I feel like psychology just kind of helped with understanding people and the things around us in the world. So that's kind of why I got into psychology. And at some point I thought I wanted to be a therapist because I'm really good with talking with people.
Yeah. No, I just say your energy and then just like with your background, like with Unbreakable, it's all about pain, healing, escapism. And you just like your energy is being a people person. So I'm trying to, which the dots do connect. And I mean, man, that's really awesome because I feel like I tell people when they go through things, that test is a testimony, right? What you've been through is a testimony and you have so much to give and your art speaks to that. I just imagine, like, I don't personally know you, but I imagine you being the type of person, look, I went through this so you don't have to go through that.
Yep.
And there's a way. Like for me, music was my getaway. Music was my retreat. So I became a musician. And then like you, I like talking to people, hence the podcast. As far as with Unbreakable, like the poetry, can you give us a rundown on that? I feel like that is such a powerful, powerful thing, a powerful book as well.
So with Unbreakable is my second book. My first book is Flames, and Flames is a urban fiction kind of book. And when I thought about doing Unbreakable, I was looking at the world around me, the people around me. We see so many people struggling, so many people committing suicide, so many people not believing in themselves, so many people in a dark space instead of a light space. And isolated. We feel so isolated, like we're the only ones going through something. And that's because we don't share enough. And like I teach my sons, as humans, we're so scared to be vulnerable. We're so scared to show those people, those sides of us that make us look vulnerable, or the things that we went through that we feel like will not make us look strong or make us look bad. So we feel so isolated because we don't talk enough about what we're all going through. And the moment we open our mouth, we start to realize that I am not the only one going through this. There's a lot of people in the room who went through it, who have already survived it, or who are starting to go through it. You know, so with Unbreakable, I just wanted to share. Because I'm like, the more we share, the more we realize we're not alone.
Yeah.
If you could read my book and say, wow, this girl went through all that, and you might be going through some of it and thinking that your future's not bright, thinking that you have to be a product of your environment, thinking that you can't come above what you're in right now. And Unbreakable is one of those books where it's like, no, you can. Yes, we're all going through something, but we can all make it. And no, you're not alone because there's 60,000 people going through the same thing as you. We're just not sharing it.
Yeah. And I feel like you bring up a good point. It's like somebody went through what you went through. And that's one reason why I love testimonies. One of my favorite authors is T.D. Jakes because, like you said, it's relatable and you go through it. You also the warrior spirit. Can you explain that for us? Like, you have a warrior spirit.
It's just that fire not to die, like not to give up. Like no matter what comes at you, right? You're gonna have to fight me to the death for this. Like I'm not just gonna lay there and die. Like, and
Yeah.
honestly, it just brings me back to the fact that your father said he didn't give you a spirit of fear or worry or not to, just curl up in a ball and die. Your father gave you a spirit to fight. They don't tell you that you got a book in Ephesians of armor because you're just supposed to sit there and not fight. Armor is for fighting. So we're meant to fight. We're meant to go up against all the things that are coming up against us. And I'm just the kind of person, like, I'm not going to lay down and take it. You're going to have to fight for it.
Yeah.
Breakthrough was my second.
This book, when you wrote this book, I always imagine when people write like novels and it has like characters, are any of these people like, okay, yeah, this is in the vein of my mom, or this is like, I guess the overall question, are people in your life, do they inspire the characters that you write about?
Sometimes, yes, they do. Like, for example, if you read Flames, one of my main characters is Mia, and she is Aaliyah's best friend. Aaliyah is the main character. Mia is her best friend. And Mia is a combination of my friends in my real life. She's funny. She's down for whatever. Like, you're not going to mess with her friend in front of her. She's got your back whether you're in the room or out the room. So Mia was a combination of some of my friends and then also like what you would want in a friend.
Mm-hmm. Man, that's pretty awesome. And then you write visually, you write cinematically. How does that, what is your writing process? Because to transfer it from paper to mind, to me, that is an art within itself.
Yes, it is. So I'll explain it like this. When a book comes to me, the way I said when I read a book, it's like a movie. When I get inspiration for a book, it's like a movie in my head. Like imagine a movie just flipping fast, like right through your head. It's like that. Like that's how it happens for me. And I have to write it down. So like it'll be flipping through my head and I have to write it down. It's usually anywhere from like 3 to 5 paragraphs. And I have to write it down, getting down as much as I can. That's usually how it happens for me. And then I'll take, I call that the gist of your story. When I write my 3 to 5 paragraphs, and usually in those 3 to 5 paragraphs, it's literally my beginning, middle, and end in those 3 to 5 paragraphs. And that's just your gist of the story. Like as if someone asked you, you watch that show on Netflix, what is it about? And you'll tell them what it's about. You don't give them every single detail, but you paint a great picture so they understand what it's about. That's kind of what it's like for me. And then I will take that gist and I can begin to expand it into chapters. And like I tell people, usually my lucky number is 10. I don't know why so far. If it happens to go over 10, that's fine. But 10 is my lucky number. And I'll break it down into 10 chapters and I'll start working it from there, developing my characters from there. So I feel like you really have to lay this out like you would do when they ask you to write your essay in school. You know, you got to start with your brainstorm, then you got to lay that out before you get. I feel like if you really want to succeed, and this is coming from someone who didn't succeed before and finally succeeded, you have to lay it out. There has to be a game plan. You have to lay it out from beginning to end, creating as much as you can at once, but it's okay that you don't create everything at once because other things will come as you keep on developing your story. But as long as you got that main root of your story, you're good to go from there. And then you can always develop your main characters based on the story. Is your main character going to be a woman based on your story? Is your main character a man based on your story? Is it a couple? Like you already have your main characters based off what you wrote.
You just brought up a good thing because I always hear like one of the criticisms of like movies and all is the character development, but you broke it out. I never thought about that. Like when you write an essay, you brainstorm because it's just like it's so much that you got to capture. And who are your favorite authors? Like, did you have any authors in mind? Like, man, I really liked it.
I do have favorite authors. A lot of them are my urban fiction authors, but they're like, everyone knows Coldest Winter Ever, Sister Soldier. We love that.
Yeah.
Swanson, Ashley, and Josh Clavius. And I'm not going to front, a lot of these people are very old. I mean, they still have some work today, but a lot of these people, these are like people I grew up on. Brittany Williams, Misha Mink, and Denisha Diamond. I don't know who wrote the book, The G-Spot. It's a trilogy, but man, you will not put that down and you'll be on your little nook buying every copy after that.
Yeah.
But just like the Kendall Banks. So these are like some of the people that I still have their books today on my shelf.
Yep. And Shawniece, I want to say thank you because representation matters. I have a daughter. She's 19. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I went out of my way to find representation because there's so far too many of us that were never represented. Like one day I talked about, flesh colored Band-Aids, and they're like, I'm like, but whose flesh are they colored for, right? And like you said, it's always being about relating. Like if somebody can relate to you and you can vibe like, hey, they look like me, they experience this like me, that thank you for doing that work. Because I feel like you said, especially with technology, a lot of people isolate themselves, a lot of people are hurting, and they need to find that outlet. So that leads me to my next question. As far as with technology, the good and the bad, what do you see the good and the bad?
I see the good in the fact that you can use it for so many things to create. You can use it for income now. I mean, you could be someone at home not knowing what to do and figure out how to do something online. So then you can generate something. You can generate some passive income for yourself. Knowledge. There's a lot of knowledge at our fingertips, but just like the word warns, with knowledge also comes confusion, because there's a lot of real knowledge and there's a lot of misinformation, and you literally got to use your discernment to decide what should I be absorbing and what should I be upchucking,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I do see that it's great for information. It's great for getting us opportunities that we didn't have before. That's what it's good for. But the bad, it's very corruptible.
Yeah.
Like I said, you have to decide what's right and what's wrong, because there's a lot of information all at once, and some of it's real and some of it's false. So you have to decide. I don't really necessarily like it for kids at all, because there's too much going on online, too much seeping in. And even if you think you're tracking your kids, there's still just too much that you're never going to be able to track. So there is good and bad with it, but to be honest, I don't think technology is really all that great, because I feel like we're not as smart as we think we are. We're a little more stupider because we rely too much on this technology.
Yeah.
We're really stupider.
Yeah, I say smartphone stupid people.
Yeah,
and you're right.
Pretty much.
And it's like, the first time I saw this, I thought and this was like 13 years ago, I thought it was unreal, but now it's the norm. If you want to see somebody melt down, take their phone from them. They will literally melt down. Like, it is an addiction. And you also speak on something that I had to learn with raising my daughter, because there was a point where technology was really, I forget the vortex when they're young, their minds developing, and all that energy, all that information, their young minds aren't ready for all that information. So I had to deal with the psychology of that. And we actually, we would go to Durango, Colorado was our safe space, and hey, put the phone down, let's walk, and hey, let's just dig into a book. To you, what does the book mean? What does just reading a book, like if you had to sell, like, hey, put the phone down and just dig into a book, what would that pitch be?
Well, I don't know. That's a hard pitch today in this world, to get someone to put their phone down and pick up a book. But I think the way I would pitch it would be like, imagine your favorite Netflix series, but instead of it being on a screen, it's in your mind. And even though you have these characters and everything else, you kind of also get to use your imagination to shape stuff. Yes, I may tell you the way someone looks or the way a house is, but you actually get to use your mind to figure out how you actually want that to look, how you actually want him to look or her to look or the house to look or that scene to be. I mean, it gets to be yours in a way. So it's like picking up your favorite Netflix series, except for you are reading it and you kind of get to be the director, and you kind of get to decide how everything's really going to look and everything else. So I guess that's how I would put it, because everybody loves Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix is, I like what you say. You want to pursue, you tell people, or your goal, pursue what sets your soul on fire. Can you expand on that? Because I love that saying. I love that.
So what I'm saying is, pursue what makes you happy. Do what makes you happy in spite of the world around you, in spite of what everybody tells you, in spite of all the no's, in spite of all the door slams. If it makes you feel good when you're doing it, if it makes you feel inspired when you're doing it, if it makes you happy when you're doing it, if it produces good fruit while you were doing it, then do it.
And in that vein, for somebody that listens to this, or somebody that's a reader of your books, now they're added you to their favorite author, you've inspired them. What would you say to them? What advice would you give them that, hey, look, stop making excuses. This is what you need to do. This is the first step to become an author and an inspirer.
I would tell them, like I always tell everybody, just do it. If you're that serious about it and you really want it, I feel like when you really want something, nobody has to tell you anything, honestly. When you really want something, no one has to tell you anything. If I have to sit here to convince you to do it, then you don't want it, and I don't need to convince you. You've already convinced yourself that you don't want it. That's how I look at it. So if you really want something, no one's got to convince you. I don't got to write 3 paragraphs. I don't got to show you how I did all these books. You will come ready and prepared because that is what you want, and you have set your mind on it.
Yeah, that's true. 2026 into 2027. What is, this is self-promotions time, shameless promotion. What is Shawniece Hall doing? What can we look forward to? Where can people find you, your books? The stage is yours.
All right, so number one, what you can look forward to is I'm about to drop an author guide, which is going to help someone in my position, once you publish a book, help you get through all the steps, like what websites to put it on, where you can go for a billboard, advertisement, social, like all the stuff that people tell you to do once you get your book ready to be published, but they don't really show you how to do it. They don't give you the resources. They just tell you what you need to do. This book is going to help you with all that. It's going to have the resources, trackers for like when you do podcasts, when you do social media campaigns, all that stuff. And so you guys can look forward to that. And I know a lot of the stuff in that book is a lot of stuff I needed help with when I first started, and there was no one really helping me. A lot of people telling me, but not a lot of people giving me the resources, where to go. So you're like, oh, I know I need to do this, but how the heck do I do it? So this book answers that question. So look out for that. And then when it comes to me, you can find me on social media. Facebook would be Shawniece Hall. Instagram is Shawniece Wright. TikTok is Niecy101. And if you want to buy my stuff or just continue to keep following me off of social media, my website is www.shawniecewright. That's WRITEZ.com. You can go there. You can buy books from me. I also have like shirts, tote bags, stuff like that. You can also catch me on Amazon. But like I tell everybody, if you go to Amazon, you won't get a signed copy. And usually when people buy directly from me, I always have like little gift bags going on, and what's inside of them always changes, and it's always relative to whichever book you're getting.
Did you imagine you would be doing all of this as a little girl in Rhode Island?
The writing part, I imagined I would get to that at some point, but everything else that I've been doing, no, not really. It's all just coming full circle. I was slowly studying everything all at once, and I feel like that's how I start to work. If I put an idea in my mind and then I start doing research behind it, watching videos on it, seeing how other people are doing it, without me realizing it, I'm slowly moving myself towards exactly what it is I want to do. Even when it's like coming to my tote bags and my shirts, those were things that I was searching up while I was writing. Like, oh, how do I do shirts? How do I do tote bags? Not realizing how I was going to tie all that stuff in. And now it's all just coming full circle. So like I say, follow the path even when you feel like you're being sporadic. Because sometimes I feel like I'm sporadic. Like I'm here, I'm there, I'm everywhere. And then somehow God just brings that whole picture together. Like you didn't know what you was doing. You thought you was taking all these crazy steps, but really all your steps were ordered. You just didn't see it.
Yeah. And then my last question, again, thank you for taking the time to be on the show and sharing your inspirational story. I know that this is going to touch so many people. What do the arts mean to Shawniece Hall?
The art?
Yeah, the arts, writing, what you do, creating. What does that mean to you?
To me, it just really means expression. Like how you said that music was your expression, right? Writing is my expression. Some people paint. Some people do all kinds of stuff. It's all an outward expression. That's all it is. When you're reading my book, right, you are experiencing an outward expression of my brain, of my imagination. So you're getting to see a inside part of me on the outside. So I feel like all art is just an outward expression.
Man. So ladies and gentlemen, another powerful and inspiring episode with Shawniece Hall. Go ahead and check her out. Order directly from her so you can get the, So ladies and gentlemen, this is Marquivas Nias and Shawniece Hall signing off for Deeper Than Music.